gentlemen, Si-Fu and our esteemed guest Benjamin Zephaniah. Thank you all for joining us at the launch of Si-Fu's book, Wing Tsun Returns to the Shaolin Temple. My name is Tom Kitchen, I'll be your host for today. While today celebrates the launch of Si-Fu's first book and the remarkable events that took place in China, it's not just about us and the school. Traditionally, Kung Fu in the community in the old times in China was actually the heart of many communities. Kung Fu schools were. Considering the many positive and moral principles that Wing Tsun teaches, offering a way of life around self-development and healthy living, the support of the community is one of the cornerstones of our school. Tonight we are, this afternoon, we are supporting Help for Heroes, which is a charity for the year, providing much needed support for those injured in the armed forces. The school has already raised around £15,000 from a recent world record, and we have pledged another £1,000 from sales for our book. We would be most grateful if you could help us reach our aim of £20,000. If you can just donate £5 or a smaller amount, if that's all you can afford, it would be greatly appreciated. For those of you who have not visited the schools before, I would like to take the opportunity to also introduce our master to the school, Si-Fu Julian Hitch. Si-Fu was the first person to introduce authentic Chinese Wing Tsun into Western Europe. Known for both his dedication to the art and his professionalism, he is admired by many for his adherence to the customs and ancient rules of Wing Tsun, having been described as an ancient master in modern times. Starting his Wing Tsun career aged 15, Si-Fu has followed the path of martial artist with incredible dedication, whilst also earning 2 degrees, a graduate diploma in law, and being called to the bar. The greatest honour for Si-Fu was being accepted as the only Western todai, meaning son, of Master Máday Norbert, chief instructor of the Eastern European Wing Tsun Association. Si-Fu's skills are well renowned, and among many other roles in the martial arts world, he is official trainer for elite commando units and bodyguards. Among countless other achievements, Si-Fu has led the school to breaking 3 Guinness World Records, including the most recent, which saw us complete 36 hours and 13 minutes non-stop training, again in aid for Help for Heroes. An incredible feat, as I'm sure you can imagine. So the launch of Si-Fu's book is a historic day for the school. In September last year, the school embarked on a trip to China, to the home of Kung Fu, the famed Shaolin Temple. Si-Fu's book is the immortalisation of these events. Martial arts in the West is something that is widely practised, but unfortunately, as with much in the modern day world, is something that is rarely mastered. Máday Norbert, Si-Fu's teacher, asked Si-Fu to travel to China to pay tribute to the great Chinese culture and martial art heritage. He wanted a master to show not all martial arts had become debased and commercialised in the West. With the support of the Chinese embassy, this was the first time that Wing Tsun had officially returned to the Shaolin Temple, since the temple was destroyed by the Manchu government in the 18th century. It was also the first time a non-Chinese Kung Fu school had ever performed at the stage, at the temple on the stage. The school did 20 public performances of Wing Tsun Kung Fu at iconic venues such as the Forbidden City, the Great Wall itself, the Summer Palace, and the Olympic Stadium, also known as the Bird's Nest, along with the Shaolin Temple. A few highlights from the trip included being the first Kung Fu school to perform at the world-famous UNESCO site, Forbidden City in Beijing, meeting and performing for the Beijing Professional Kung Fu or Wushu team in Beijing also. This school has given rise to many famous martial artists such as Jet Li. Doing special performances for at the Imperial Ancestral Palace for military who were training at the grounds. The performance was highly commended by their trainer, who then provided a special demonstration in our honour. Despite the Great Wall being closed for the night of their performance at the Great Wall, Si-Fu and the team still managed to perform an amazing demonstration, and we're hopefully going to see some of that later on. On the final day, I think probably the most impressive feat was that the school broke another world record. It was for the highest number of kicks completed in 1 hour. The team achieved 19,294 kicks, beating the previous record of 12,478, another incredible achievement. Si-Fu would like to now say a few words about the events that took place in China, as well as the book.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Firstly, I would also like to extend my welcome to our guest. We're really honoured to have him here today. Really appreciate this. As you heard from Tom, many years ago, I was actually asked by my Si-Fu to go to China. And like anyone else who studies martial arts, really it's a dream to go there. Unfortunately, the thing about dreams is sometimes they have to be tempered by reality. So it took me a further 7 years before I got there. But when I did, it really, I would not necessarily say life-changing, but it was certainly something special. I should say at this juncture, it wouldn't have happened without my signals, without Sigung here. It may sound a bit strange, but when I was there, every day, every minute of every day, I could feel him with me, step by step. So his kindness, encouragement and belief I could feel every single day I was there. Actually, there was a certain feeling of destiny about this trip. It's a word that's bandied around a lot, but something very interesting, and I mentioned it in the book. I had a call, I think, maybe 3 weeks before I left from my grandmother, who's here in the audience. And as you can all guess, and as you heard, I've been doing martial arts most of my life. I had a call saying, by the way, I've got this book that you'll be interested in. I said, okay. Oh yeah, you know, it's your grandfather's. What book's that? Oh, it's a martial arts book. At which point, I was totally taken back. Oh no, it's from when he was in China in 1973, studying martial arts. At which point, I went very silent. Really? My grand at that point said, oh, I'll post it to you. I was like hell. I'm driving around right now to pick it up. Unbelievable, because actually in 1973 was in the middle of the Cultural Revolution. It was actually, if you want to know more about it, you speak to my grandmother, who can tell you all the historical parts, but he was one of the first people to go there. So to study martial arts in 1973 is quite remarkable. In fact, when I was in China, when I said that, they went, no, your dates are wrong. In fact, the dates were wrong. He was on one of the first trips there. It's even more unusual because he was an academic, not a martial artist, so it's a bit strange to suddenly find, after all these years, thinking I was the black sheep, to find there was actually a small link in the family. And this feeling actually of destiny has come round a bit more, because funny enough, Benjamin here also does Tai Chi, the martial art that my grandfather did, and I only found out literally earlier this week he also does Wing Tsun. So we're very privileged to have a Wing Tsun practitioner here. It really is true that life certainly works in strange ways. To talk about the trip, I don't really wish to discuss what's in the book. I don't want to bore you and recite what's in there. What I would like to talk about a little bit was the preparation. It was, I have to say, quite tough. I'm not genuinely known for my, let's say, easygoing manner when it comes to preparation, as most of the people, I think Gabor will tell you, who has been here until about 2 in the morning with me every day. I like to make sure everything's perfect. They did have a very tough time, not just in China, but before China. Because we'd spent a year and a half preparing for it, they'd had 9 months of continual preparation, week in, week out, month in, month out, of preparations going over and over to make sure they were good enough. This then culminated when they got to China. You would think if you're on an athletic tour, you would have some break before you get there. Everyone normally goes there acclimatized. No chance. They got straight off the plane, had some lunch, and went straight to do a performance, straight from the plane. They dropped their bags, had something to eat, and went and did their first performance. Then trained in the evening, had some sleep, and then went to do, actually not 20, 21 performances in 9 days. That's pretty tough. Actually, I have to say, they didn't get that much time to eat, they didn't have that much to eat, so it was quite a remarkable feat. I don't think it made me very popular with the students doing that, I have to say. But luckily, my job is not to be popular. Actually, I'm here to guide, show the way, and push where necessary. And I think this is something that is forgotten in today's society and in martial arts. It's too often do we think the aim in life should be to do something, the minimum, to get the maximum. This has now become the sort of new philosophy for life. I want to do as little as possible and get as much as possible. But actually that's the opposite of certainly of martial arts and certainly what I believe in. You are defined, and everyone is defined by their actions. What we are is what we do. how we hold ourselves, what principles we have, what we achieve. These are our marks of us. This is our scratch in the history of what we do. So when I push people hard, sometimes hard for the students to see, but I always do this with a good heart and with the best intentions. Actually, as my Si-Fu, as Sigung once said to me, he said, "Todai, if I'm hard on you, it's because I like you." I remember once I came in from lunch. We were training downstairs in his gym, and we went upstairs to have lunch, and I had massive bruises all over my hands. So anyone who's a student will know we were doing Chinese conditioning, which is extraordinarily painful. And his wife took one look at me and went, "Ah, this means Si-Fu likes you." But actually, this was very true. But the thing about martial arts, it seems opposite in many ways to logic. In many ways, opposite to modern logic. But that's the martial arts. The situation, I write about it in the book, is getting rather precarious with relation to the martial arts, and I'm sure Benjamin will talk more about this. But commercialization is dominating across the world. In China particularly, it's the new fashion to be fashionable, let's say. So it's taking over Western culture, is unfortunately eroding away, and martial arts is at big risk because of this. It's a real shame when, for me, I remember having a discussion with one of my friends who's a quite rich businessman. He said, "So what's your business plan?" I said, "I understand the words you're saying, but I don't think in those terms." He said, "What do you mean? You're a businessman?" I said, "No, I'm a martial artist." Just like a charity must pay its way, but it doesn't mean it's just about the money. Martial arts is far more than this, and that's what we've been working for and what we've been trying to achieve. As I said, this commercial situation is a bit of a problem, particularly in England. I would say 95% of the problems I face as a teacher is due to the attitude of thinking the customer is always right. Martial arts is not about the customer, it's about the self-development. It's about pushing yourself through different levels, about trying to be part of something, trying to achieve something, try to do something as part of a group. Not just live for the sake of living, but live to achieve something more. Try to leave it better than where we had it when we came along. These are big words, strong words, but that's the essence of the martial arts. We do it through physical training and through the philosophy behind it, but it's crucial. I just said about the commercialization. If I say there's a problem, generally, having done all my law training, it's nice to say, what's the solution? There's the problem, what's the solution? Actually, like any honest human being here, I think this is a bit too big a problem for me to say I have a solution for. I can't say I can propose a solution to make commercialization fair and nice. What I can say for the martial arts is I have my idea of a solution. The first idea of a solution is through three key characteristics. And these three key characteristics of a human being, in my opinion, change the world. And these are true belief, determination, and hard work. These three words, at the heart of martial arts and at the heart of life, influence everything. If you truly believe in making a difference will be made. And again, we have a very big example of this standing next to me, sitting next to me. I also do have a practical solution rather than just a characteristic solution. This will allow serious students and those who want to remove themselves from commercial settings to develop themselves in peace. There will be no money involved in this, just development, training, knowledge and understanding. A place where strength, power and virtue are combined together. Today, I believe, we're one step closer.